All right, everyone. Thank you for coming, for joining us today for Hingham Municipal Light Plant and Abode's contractor webinar. So today we'll be covering the updates to HMLP's heat pump rebate program. And so before we begin, I'd like to introduce Steve Girardi. He's the engineer at HMLP, and he's going to say a few words about HMLP and the program.
So thank you for everybody for attending. We are really excited to have a nice partnership between the Hingham Municipal Light Plant and Abode Energy Management System. I think this is going to be a great partnership for the residents of Hingham. This is a great means to get people off fossil fuels and to more efficient, safer, and cleaner way to heat or cool their homes. So again, thank you for everybody attending. We're looking for a lot of success in this program. I know we have the right folks here to make this project become reality. I'm going to give it back to Chris.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
So my name is Christopher Herringa. I'm the program manager here at Abode, so I'm excited to update you on how the program works. Just want to give you a quick update about who Abode is and what we do in the industry. So a quick overview, we provide QA for clean heating technology programs for multiple municipal light plants and regular towns throughout Massachusetts and the greater Boston area. We're a lead vendor for National Grid's home performance contractor path. And in that role, we oversee about 30,000 home energy assessments a year with Mass Save and about 18,000 weatherization jobs. We support the deployment of virtual pre-assessments for Eversource CT, as well as now in New Jersey. And we provide high quality building science and new technology trainings in partnership with the Building Performance Institute, the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, and other partners. We're based in Concord, Mass. We've operated as both a contractor and lead vendor in utility programs. And as contractors, we've worked in home performance programs, air source heat pump sales and install, residential solar PV sales and install, and many others. Picture here on the right is our VP of operations doing his own deep energy retrofit on his house. So let's take a look at the program. And we want to acknowledge that each stakeholder has a specific interest related to the heat pump install. And so we help residents in Hingham learn more about air source heat pumps, how they work, and if they will be a good fit for their homes. And from there, we can connect them with contractors on our participating contractor list. We're available as a resource to contractors before, during, and after a project is complete. And we administer the quality assurance and technical review portions of the rebate program. And we're available to help you and your customers apply for HMLP rebates. So this program is designed to help contractors, customers, and HMLP achieve their goals together. So heat pumps are the future of heating and cooling. And the main goal of this program is to increase the adoption of air source heat pumps in Hingham. Through doing direct consulting, marketing, and education to residents, our goal is to increase customer satisfaction with heat pumps, and while doing so, increase your success as a contractor. So with consideration towards customer satisfaction and helping HMLP manage and predict load during peak events, we administer comprehensive quality assurance and contractor support to prevent system oversizing and performance issues. So let's take a quick look at the updates to the rebates. So the maximum incentive has been increased. There's one rebate per household. It is $500 per ton, up to $2,000. The asterisk there on the ton. So the actual tons are calculated based on the AHRI cooling capacity divided by 12,000 BTUs. And so the rebate amount is going to be based on those actual tons. So eligible equipment and efficiency requirements. The equipment must be listed on NEEP's cold climate air source heat pump specification list. Link to it is right there. And some other requirements to keep in mind as well. The project must follow Abode's pre-approval and install QA process. The system must be connected by a licensed electrician. A town wiring inspection is required post-installation, and the prerequisite to that is the electrical permit. The customer must have an active residential account with HMLP. Customers will receive a rebate check that will be mailed to the address on the customer's account. The customer account must be in good standing with HMLP. And at the end, the customer must provide proof of purchase, a sales or receipt or invoice showing $0 balance. And it needs to be dated on or after January 1 of the current year. They'll also need to supply the AHRI or NEEP certificate. And the appliance must be installed at the account location. So I want to walk you through a visual representation of the flow of this rebate process for the air source heat pump program. So as mentioned before, you can see they're kind of at the top left. We speak with many residents in town about air source heat pumps and help connect them with contractors and support them along the way if they need any help. The process really begins once a contractor has an agreement with a customer. So looking at that diamond shape, the blue one. So we have an online web form that contractors can submit straight to us at Abode about the system you plan to install and some key points on the home. We will review your submission and respond within 3 business days with feedback or a pre-approval letter. So if there's any feedback, we'll get in touch with you to have a quick conversation with you about the design. We're never going to call you and act as a judicial body or hold a didactic conversation or tell you how to run your business. We're very friendly. We keep the goals of the program in mind we discussed earlier. And so this conversation is going to usually go, one of 2 ways. If I were to get in touch with a contractor with some feedback on system sizing or something like that, you may inform me with some extra info on why that sizing was chosen, and we'll say, okay, that makes perfect sense. I can send you the pre-approval letter right away. Other times, the contractor has responded to our feedback with, those are actually some pretty good points. I can see how it makes sense to go a half ton or a ton smaller, or maybe break that up into 2 smaller condensers outside to get a better turn down ratio. And we'll adjust that, get back in touch with the customer, and from there, we could set up a new pre-approval letter and send that out to you. So after install, there's a very quick and easy install quality assurance form that can be completed right in your smartphone. It will ask for a few images of the outdoor and indoor units, some easy yes or no questions, and an opportunity to upload a paid invoice if you have it. Otherwise, that can be sent later. And we're available to help your customers with their rebates if needed. So HMLP will soon have an online rebate application that you or your clients can complete for the rebate. And finally, there is a customer survey. And if there is any negative feedback or follow-up required, we can get that in touch with you if it was something that HMLP needs to follow up with or Abode. We're just trying to make sure everybody has a great experience participating in this program to make it a great success for everybody. All right. So let's take a quick look at the pre-approval form and some key process steps to remember. So as mentioned before, we have been contractors and we understand how important it can be to keep the sales process moving along. So our aim is to make the pre-approval process as user-friendly as possible and promise to return feedback or pre-approval within 3 business days. So on the pre-approval form, what you're going to be providing us are some key inputs about the spaces being served by the heat pumps, the model numbers, the design strategy, confirm the control strategy for staging the heat pumps and the existing systems, if there will be any. And also at that point, 3 business days, like I said, you'll get that pre-approval letter. We do ask that you do not install until Abode has provided you the pre-approval letter. So try to get this input a couple of weeks ahead if you can. That way, if there's any feedback or anything, we can talk about it. But yeah, this is all going to happen within about 3 business days. The install QA form, this is best completed while on site. So provide key photos of the installed equipment and the site conditions, respond to some attestation questions regarding the steps of the install, and provide a photo of your invoice or a contract that includes all the equipment and model numbers installed. We understand you may not have that on site on the last day of installation, so that can totally be sent later on. It's not a required field on that form. And finally, the customer survey. Customers will be strongly encouraged to complete this survey. The results will be used to ensure that participating contractors are continuing to provide a good customer experience. So pre-approval form tips. So what we're looking for, basically, is the equipment reasonably sized for the space being conditioned, the type of floor plan, and the building envelope? Is the equipment selected appropriate for the type of floor plan and intended use? And is there an effective control strategy? So how we're going to evaluate that based on the inputs provided and publicly available data, we'll confirm that the load calculation is within a reasonable range of what was provided by you, the contractor, and we'll confirm that the equipment selected aligns with the load and layout of the house. So sometimes we're going to be flagging multi-zone equipment for a bit of a deeper review before we get back to you. And if the existing heating system is left in the home, we'll confirm that a control strategy is part of the plan. Doesn't necessarily mean it's integrated controls. It could be some other type of simple strategy for the homeowner to use to make sure the systems are working together versus compete. And so what that means at the end, we may recommend the system be resized based on the outcome of that evaluation, or we might suggest alternative equipment is selected and or system design might be recommended, and could recommend adding or adapting integrated controls or some sort of control strategy to coach the customer on taking on. The pre-approval and install QA forms do have a save function on these online forms. So this allows you to save what you have entered so far and return to it later if you want to. And that save function can be found at the bottom of the form. Taking a look at how we evaluate these system proposals. We evaluate projects in our QA process against these public resources on heat pump sizing and design and installation in cold climates. So if you haven't already read these guides, they're an excellent resource for both new and experienced contractors. So take a look and you can find those pretty easily on NEEP's website. When you receive a pre-approval letter from Abode, the system will be evaluated on a schedule of risk. So most of the projects that are going to be passing are in that low risk, some are in the moderate risk. So what the low risk is here is saying is the system's design, sizing, and control strategy will likely perform as intended without meaningful cycling or performance issues. And then moderate risk, system sizing and design might have some issues with cycling, or maybe there isn't a great control strategy in place. And maybe we might ask for some more information about how things are set up there. We might make a recommendation, but generally these can still pass. High risk systems, this is where system design will likely have some issues with cycling. It probably doesn't have a control strategy, and we're generally concerned about the performance of that system as for the end user who will be using that when it's installed. So that project may not likely be approved without changes. We'll give you that friendly call to see how things are going and just get the big picture from you and go from there. So as I've been saying, we're working collaboratively to resolve any flagged issues. So we're going to give a call to you. We're not going to call your customer up and say anything. We respect your relationship with them, and we're just going to try to interact with you to see what's going on. And so, what about the home makes the proposed system appropriate? What are the customer's goals? Were there any alternative solutions presented? So we just want to help ensure the customer's goals and comfort needs are met, just like you do. And we want to help you also avoid any performance issues, maximize the air source heat pump runtime, reduce any callbacks for you, things like that. So the install QA form, this is intended to be completed while on site. It's based on NEEP's guide to installing air source heat pumps in cold climates. It's going to require photos of the installed equipment. Usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes max to complete. It can be completed on a smartphone. It's very straightforward, so any of your staff should be able to complete it while they're on site. And as mentioned before, this form does have a save function. So you could save it while in the field. That'll allow you to share the link or email the link to an office staff member who could then open it up later on and finish it up. So just a great function to be able to take advantage of. At the end of the whole process, customer surveys are sent out once the rebate documents have been kind of completed and sent through. So if anybody responds to the questions on that survey with a 6 or lower, it does provide them the opportunity to add a comment. So if there's anything they add in there that needs following up, we can get in touch with you so you can try to make things right if needed. Otherwise, we'll let you know if we get a particularly good one as well. So the participating contractor list is a public list. It is going to be referred on HMLP's website, any marketing efforts they do. So it's a great list to get on if you're not on it already. So why this exists really is to provide customers with a vetted resource when looking for an air source heat pump contractors. And it also provides contractors with an additional qualification when selling in HMLP's service area. So to get on this list, there is an onboarding meeting we'll need to have with us at Abode. There is a participating contractor list application. And while you're on it, we need you to remain compliant with the program processes and continue to deliver consistently positive customer experiences. So the onboarding session, this is a virtual meeting with me where I can run you through the forms in detail, answer all your questions, make sure you fully understand how that all works, the rebate, the process, the forms to get the application for your customer, all that sort of stuff. Happy to help with all of that. And once we have that meeting, you're welcome to apply for that participating contractor list. So on that application, we're going to be asking you to demonstrate technical knowledge of heat pump sizing and design, best practices, completion of manufacturer training programs. So, use cases in sizing, install and servicing, any of those courses that you've attended with different manufacturers. You can also feel free to upload participation in industry conferences and relevant training sessions, provide certificates of insurance, provide license numbers, electrical, sheet metal, etc. Provide your EPA refrigeration certificate. And also we ask that you provide references from 2 customers for which you have installed heat pumps that we can give a chat to. And also agreed to abide by the program guidelines, processes, and remain in good standing and compliant with all program requirements. So feel free to get in touch so we can set up that meeting with you. My contact details are right here. And after that, you're welcome to join the participating contractor list and apply, and we'll work on that. So we welcome your feedback and input on this program. A lot of effort has been putting in to make this program work well for everybody that's involved. So we're very open to feedback on our forms or processes, things like that. And so if you have any ideas on how to make the program better, we're definitely open to that. We're trying to work here collaboratively with everybody to make this program a real success. All right. So is there any questions available for anybody? I'm happy to take those now. Put them to the chat box. Or you can raise your hand and I can allow you to speak as well. All right, must have done a really good job. I'm not getting any questions. So with that, thanks everyone for coming. Steve, did you want to share any other final words before we sign off today?
No, thank you for everybody attending and joining us in this new partnership, and looking forward to seeing a lot of applications and a lot of work around Hingham. A lot of work needs to be done to achieve our goals. So thank you, and hopefully we see extreme success.
All right, thank you, Steve. And as I said at the beginning, this was recorded, so we'll share that through HMLP. They'll put it up on their website, so you can share it with anybody else in your staff that needs to take a look. Get in touch if you have any questions, and we're excited to get started. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.